thought I'd do a little video on when I started with forging at the beginning of this year and how far it's gone along. Yep, I've only done it since the beginning of this year. This is what equipment I have. One little double burner forge, and that is actually potassium nitrate for bluing. This is something I made myself, and here is my big anvil. I do pretty much everything on most of these tools I've made. And so now we're gonna just go through some of the things I did in the last year here, including making even a coal forge right there. Here is some of the first things I started. This was out of a leaf spring, the very first knife I made. Then I thought, well, let's try a few other things. So then I made my pocket knife, which we used to cut the meat, and then I went up and cut a tree out of the road with it. We followed that with many other things. I started with making railroad spikes and put the hole on the wrong side, so I ended up doing a twist that I ended up liking. Then I made my son a little hatchet. Then I started experimenting with a few other knives and started using other things such as skill saw blades, files put together, and actually kind of formed a Damascus type of look. I did make some Damascus and added one of the petrified limb casts I got from Texas Springs, the pink agate. Then for a while I got really stuck on, I gotta figure out how to do the cable. Never could really get the cable real well to forge weld, but did come up with a few. Then I started playing with a few axes. What could we do with an axe? This was actually a big old rod. I bent it around for the handle and then forged weld some Damascus in it. Just everything I tried, something new. Then we thought, well, why don't we make some bottle openers out of some of these ideas? And so I started doing that and adding the bluing to them. From all kinds of little miscellaneous things. Let's throw a marble in it. And I started working at some critters. First I thought, I had a little inspiration of how someone's personality was. So, something that rattles, dragon, with eyes of some opal I had laying around. This was for a friend, cousin. Tried to make kind of a wolf. He used to have a wolf who passed away. Then just a few crazy things. What could I do with like ears or something? My rabbit turned out terrible, but the ears turned out great. And I came up with an idea to make a test for somebody. They want to ride the horses. Well, you gotta get this Just like you're riding a horse. One hand on a bottle, put it on the ground flat. Can't use any other body parts. And figure out how to open the bottle without spilling it. Catastrophic failure. Then we just tried a few different things. Okay, let's try a skull. And let's try throwing that in some cable. And turns out that could glue too. And just some of the little projects I figured out how to do in a year.